Mark here. Gonna pre-germinate some corn seeds. I did this once already this year. I should have done it again. The varieties I'm gonna pre-germinate is, here's one. It's a popcorn, boom chicka pop, popcorn seeds. Free with the purchase of any Angie's popcorn. One of the neighbor kids, they got this somewhere and they don't have anywhere to plant it, so little girl and her mom came over and said, well, okay, we'll plant that in the garden someplace. So I'm going to pre-germinate this. The other one that I'm going to pre-germinate is early sun glow. So 66 days. I got some of this growing already. And so we're going to pre-germinate it and then plant it out into the garden. The mix that I'm going to use is a seed starting mix. And it's put out by Wis.Gardener, Proline, and it's custom germination mix. So I'm going to use that. I have a little trouble with coconut coir. It just seems to hold too much water. And I know I could mix that up with some perlite, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to use this. I'll put about an inch in there. Get that leveled off. There we go. Okay, I'm going to do the popcorn seeds first. I don't think there's a whole lot in here. I'll open these up. See what they look like. And I hope they grow for the girls. Let's see why they went. Okay. Alright, we don't have a lot of seeds there, but we're going to put them in this flat. That's why I thought I'd just put them in here with the sweet corn. And I'm going to stick them about an inch apart. What I'm going to do is just put these on, and then I'm going to cover them with a little soil rather than stick them down in there. And that should be plenty far apart. This time of the year, I get a little anxious for some sweet corn. Get some out of Florida, but you never know. It's kind of a hit and miss thing. Okay, so there's the popcorn. And I'm just going to put a couple of little spacers here to space it out. I always like to think I'm going to remember what I got or where I got it, and it doesn't always work that way. So now we'll finish that out with these seeds here. These are pre-treated. The Reimer seeds. And get those in there, plant them about the same distance. If I don't need them all when I try to get them in the garden, I'm trying to get it going so that I've got kind of a steady supply of sweet corn. Once they start tasseling and getting ready to be picked, they hold out for a little while, but eventually they're a little bit overgrown. So I'm going to try to keep them going. I got some later sweet corn also that I'm going to start. I'm not going to show that in this video. I might start that right in the garden. Okay, I'll speed it up a little bit. Yeah, it looks like about 4 dozen, I think I got in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times 7 is what? 49. So that'll be okay for now. So I'm going to cover them up a little bit and put a little water in the bottom. Got this doubled up here. I'm going to put the water down under there. I'm not going to fill this whole thing up with corn. That's too much for us at one time. bleach bottles here. Come in handy sometimes. Making scoops and things. You get the ones made out of the heavier plastics. I'm always losing scoops and I buy them and I don't know what I do with them. Out in the garden someplace or a compost pile maybe somewhere, who knows. Okay, add that in a little bit. And I'm going to water it. Don't need to show you that. You know how to water things. I just put the water in here, and then what I'm going to do, I'm not going to take that out to the greenhouse. I'm having a little trouble out there. I haven't got my vents in yet, and so it gets pretty hot during the day and humid, and been having trouble with algae growing on things. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to keep it down here, and what I'm going to do is. So I'm going to bring it over here. I'll put it on the heat mat and keep it in the house for a while until they germinate. And once they germinate, then we'll put them outside. Okay, got them over here on the heat mat. Got them all watered in. Put this clear plastic cover on it and check back every day. I'll be watching them, making sure that they don't dry out. And we'll start taking videos as they start to germinate and pop out of the soil. Well, today is June 10th. Planted this sweet corn, got it started here in May 31st. So it's been 10 days now that it's been growing. We've had it out here in the greenhouse for about 3.5 days, maybe 4 days, 3.5 days I'd say. And it's really taken off in here. It's really quite warm in here now. Don't have my vents put in yet. I gotta get those put in. I do have fans in here, but that just keeps the air moving. The root system is looking pretty nice. I carefully pull these out of here and put them in the garden. Got a spot all tilled up and ready for them to go. And I better not keep them in here any longer. So, I'll take them out there and plant them. I'll show you what I've got done so far. Didn't want to bore you with a lot of planting. I have most of my corn, sweet corn planted here. And I planted them foot apart both ways, and this bed is going to be about 4 feet across, so 4 in a row. That should work out just fine. Not the best conditions for video taping out here. It's almost high noon here. It's a little bit overcast but pretty bright, the sun. But what I've been doing, I got my corn, took it apart. Pretty good root system on them. And one of the things I like to do on most of my transplants is I got a little mycorrhizae in here. Take a paintbrush and I just sprinkle a little of that on here. I got a lot of this mycorrhizae. So put that on. It helps it grow once those organisms start going. And move the camera here a little bit so we can. Okay, we'll get a little closer in here, see what I've been doing. Some of these roots are fairly long, so I dig down far enough that I can drop those roots right down in there. Just pack it in there a little bit, and then we'll do the rest of them like that. 4 more I'm going to plant here. A little bit of construction going on over here. Somebody's building a big house down by the river. Working on that thing for quite a while. Okay, the advantage for me to do it this way, pre-germinate my corn, is a small plot like this. It's not that difficult to do. It doesn't take that long to plant it. And you don't have to worry about the birds or the squirrels digging up my seed. Once they're like this here, I've noticed that they haven't been bothering it. And these plants here are already pretty high. Depending on how you measure it, I'd say the growing tip is at 5 inches. You want to grow all the way up to that leaf there, it's about 9-10 inches. So, but I'd say it's about 5.5 inches is what the actual height of that. And that's about average for what I've got in here. Okay, let's take a walk over where I'm going to be planting the popcorn. And I'll show you what I've got going here already. Get turned around here so the sun's behind us. Now this corn, procedure was the same as the procedure on the corn we were just videotaping. Started it in the flats on May 3rd and left it grew in the flats until May 31st. It's a little bit cooler that time of the year. Had it down in the basement there under the lights for a little bit longer. So that's 39 days, about 5.5 weeks. I think it's doing pretty darn good. Same variety as I just planted. Well, that one's about 18 inches tall from the growing point. So I think these are a little bit dirty, but I'd say I kind of beat the 4th of July. Knee high by the 4th of July is what they're saying. So I'll get those legs out of there quick. Got about 4 dozen of these in here. And I'm going to plant the popcorn. I got a little space up here. There's only about 12 of the popcorn. I'm going to put them up there. These should tassel long before the popcorn does. We don't want them to tassel together. No cross-pollination. That'll actually ruin the corn kernels themselves. And as soon as this lupine gets done blooming, we'll cut that thing down. Got these things kind of come up by themselves, and I let a few of them go. Attracts the bees. They really like it. So, all right.